Hey, so today's about another issue which goes on and happens all the time, and one big issue that I'm having recently is with stick drift on the PlayStation. And there is countless number of these videos done. However, I feel like one important one to do is the mix between software and hardware. So fixing the controller from the hardware perspective, and then also fixing it from a software perspective. So you can connect it up to the computer and reset the sensitivity and everything like that, so that actually it kind of helps it out. But definitely the hardware aspect is really important. So today's really going to be just about going into that, how we do it, how to figure out, that you definitely have stick drift. Sometimes it can be a bit different if you're just looking on the PlayStation, but reality is once you connect to the PC, connect up to that software, you'll be able to tell straight away. But we're going to go into that software, go into the hardware, and then it's going to work. So I've got myself a USB-C to a USB-C wire, and I'm going to use a Mac. You can do this on Windows, connect it to the PlayStation controller, and then connect it directly to the Mac. Once it's connected, so what we want to do is launch Google Chrome. You want to paste in DualShock Tools.github. I'll link this in the bio. Once we're there, you want to connect up here, connect, there we are. So when you're on it, you'll see that your controller is shaking around a little bit. Mine's shaking around quite a lot. I feel like it's definitely going to need some help. You should be able to see this on the game, maybe not, depends, but it definitely shows on here. Mine's just really shaking around. But what we can do is sort this out. So let's start by opening up the PlayStation controller. So get your toolbox. So what I want to do is open it up by getting down here. You want to pop off this to the side. There you go, one off. And let's get the second one off. There we go. Let's pop this off first. That's off. Then what we'll see is we have a number of screws here and behind the the R1 and L1 buttons, which should be really important. There's one. So these are off. So now you see there's a couple of screws behind there that you really want to get. So let's unscrew those. Here's my screwdriver. Phillips head. So let's just get those out. These ones here. And then you can feel a little bit of release in the actual controller parts. So now, what sometimes is the best is just to maybe clean out the sides here. It's really hard to, and to be fair, it's quite satisfying once you do, because these get really dirty so quickly. So now we've got the bit where you have to take this top portion off over the thumbsticks. So reality is to look for these right here. You want to make sure those kind of pop off. So get a tool of yours and just make sure that, don't break them, but then just make sure that you pull from here, from this section here and here, and you'll be able to get those off. As you're doing it, you want to make sure that these are undone like that. There we go. And then you can pull it out like here and move this away to the side. The idea is now we've got the battery, as you can see right here, and we kind of want to be able to get the battery out. So if we just pull it up here, because we really want to remove this little bit here. So what we can do is just divvy that up. That's popped out. We have our battery. So great if you want to do a battery replacement. And then what we want to do now is do this other screw right here and just quickly remove it, and boom. We'll make sure we remove that as well when we pull this out, and that's just a slight twitch, and then as you can see, remove this part. So now we have this part here, and we want to be careful with removing the motors from the board. So just do this, just pull them slightly, be very delicate with this. And then we also want to remove this bit here as well, which is always a bit of a hassle. And just the microphone right here. So with this removed, what we want to do is do this, turn it back over, and then what you'll find is you will be able to just quickly pop those out, and they will sit like this. So what we're going to do here is we're saying the right one, which is now over here, is the one causing that drift. So what we can do is just pop this off, see if there's anything dirt in there, clean it out if so. And then what we can do is what we want to do is these two things here that you can see, we will want to push those down like that. And then what we want to do is take these out and wash them off with some rubbing alcohol, get rid of any dirt that you see, if there's any dirt in there, and then boom, that should be all good to then put inside. Close them back up and you're sorted. And now what you want to do is just close this whole thing back up. So just as we did when we took it apart, you want to do the same when we close it up. Once your controller is back together, now plug it back into your laptop and let's go to the GitHub DualShock calibration tool. What we want to do is calibrate the stick center. Just click on the right hand side, see use 4-step calibration. Click on that, click calibrate stick center, and then click quick calibrate. Click on that, it will recenter the control sticks really quickly, and boom, they're in the middle. There we are, and you can move this around and it will just go back into the center and recalibrates. So that's kind of perfect, works. Now you try this on the game, you'll find that it won't shift off any more than it used to. And that's just the way to do it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please, like and subscribe. So yeah, thank you, and see you soon.